and they don't really like me. Cause I can fuck your bitch and fuck your mom and auntie.
On a Sunday, that was fun.
How long does local anesthesia last? If you inject a local anesthetic subcutaneously, will the pain come back linearly or immediately after a certain time? How much would it hurt to have your penis cut off? Wait,
What the fuck?
What? Hey guys, my name is Tuv, and today we'll be taking a look at Reddit's most disturbing user. So today, we will be talking about a disturbing Reddit user, that being user worthless319. Keep in mind, this video gets gruesome, so if you want to click off, then click off. This video is inspired by Eudoxia Mysteries' video on the same topic. Make sure to subscribe to his channel, he makes great content also covering dark subjects. Alright, without further ado, let's get started with the video. Reddit, the front page of the internet. A website where you can find pages known as subreddits for just about anything. And I mean anything. For a website with 1.6 billion visits, disturbing people is not something rare. But this case is worse than anything I've seen before. This story begins with user worthless319, who made their account on December 25th, 2016, 5 years ago. Their first post is fairly normal, asking about North Korea and the US on r/askreddit. Keep this in mind because this is a recurring topic for this person. Their next post takes a turn for the worst. It's just the next post right after that. The innate truths behind the universe have been revealed to me. I have severely self-mutilated to near death in the past, and I was awful at dealing with the pain. I couldn't remotely bring a non-judgmental awareness to it. They go on to say, I've read Be Here Now about 25 times front to back. Near the end, it depicts Christ, and it says, this trip requires total suffering, but it's got to be suffering that is no suffering. It also says, you've got to go the whole suffering trip, but you can't be the guy who is suffering. I understand this means the physical body and ego will die, but how can one manage to suffer without suffering? I'm so caught up on this, I can't step over the line into the infinite. So this person mentions that they have self-mutilated. In the next post, they reveal what part of their body they attacked, but first they ask this question. If crucifixion was self-done, yielding a crucifixion of the ego and physical body, how would you gain the power/mentality to overcome it? The comments were filled with people worrying about this person's well-being. I mean, who wouldn't? It's hard when all I've done is fail. Every mutilation makes me feel like I take 10 steps backwards. It's degrading, humiliating. My genitals look like some absurd cosmic vomit at this point. It's hard to press on. I don't think I can slowly stick a knife through the base of my... Shooting it off was nice and quick, but I'm shit out of luck this time. Then they link an image for proof. And oh my god, I don't suggest anyone look this up. Now that I said that, you guys are probably gonna go look it up. But go do it after the video, okay? Don't leave. Give me the watch time, please. But the image is their crotch with no... I wish I could say it's the first time I've seen something like that. In the next post, we find out exactly how the mutilation happened. Worthless319 shared a post on r/surgery where they ask, how long does local anesthesia last? Which is, you know, it's already a bizarre question to ask. In the replies, they explained that they shot their 4 times with a revolver, blew apart their left nut, and castrated their right nut 8 months after. I told you guys this is gonna get gruesome. And I know it's like we're a few minutes into the video. But what if I told you it gets worse? Let's continue. When people ask why, the user always responds with something along the lines of them, quote, being a sacrifice to prevent a nuclear war with North Korea. They explain that God has given them tasks that all involve self-mutilation, and this being his final one. Remember when I said the story is gonna get worse literally a few seconds ago? Well, let's read this back and forth between Worthless and another user. But at the same time, what really can't you handle? Self-mutilation. I've done it 3 times now. My intuition tells me to do it a 4th. It's hard to cut through your own body. Get to cutting. That soul needs all the experience it can collect. You'd think shooting your 4 times with a 38 special revolver, severing the last slice with a switchblade, sauteing it on the stove while bleeding out, then consuming it in 2 halves would be enough for one soul. But I digress. Yes, this person ate their own It's not funny. It's not funny. It's really random though. No, seriously, this person, you can tell they have a mental illness. Later in the video, we're gonna talk about the mental illness, but yeah, this is horrible. It's so shocking, you don't even know how to react. You know that feeling? I'm done trying to explain this. They go on to explain that they still have the base of their but now have the urge to remove the final piece. What happens if you ignore your urges? I cannot ignore them. I shot my 4 times and consumed it. Then I castrated myself. Now I have the urge to remove the base of my These are not controllable urges. Many users were horrified and attempted reaching out to no avail. This user would ignore all help, but did respond to one notable post. So what I'm about to read is another user, and then we're gonna read Worthless's response. I want to ask if you're seeking help outside Reddit. I'm glad this community is here for you, but it's not enough. Words on a page are not enough. Not my words, nor your words. Reddit is not a substitute for real change. No matter how pretty our words are and how many upvotes we get. You see the duality of suffering and bliss, of darkness and light. Surely then you can see that there is no shame in seeking help. To which Worthless responded with, I really have no one to turn to. I'm alone in this, but I'm really all there is because there is only one consciousness. Most of my spiritual guides have rejected me as psychotic and damaging due to my self-mutation. Maybe they meant mutilation in that post? I have spent upwards of 3 months locked in psychiatric wards across the US, medicated with OCD and psychotic drugs. The only problem with me is my love for God, which must be medicated. I'll be fine. I thank you for your support and guidance. It's truly a terrible loop and darkness to be stuck in. Maybe one day I'll be free. Until then, I will keep hope in my heart instead of fear. Okay, so let's do a quick recap about what we know about user Worthless319. We know they have, or had male genitalia, mutilated themselves, or how they like to say it, crucified themselves, because God told them to in order to prevent a war between North Korea and the States. They sauteed their own and ate it, and a friend ate the testicle. They've been in psychiatric wards, claims they have no one else except the people on Reddit, says they're from Southeast Florida, attended USNA in 2012, lives in a beach town. Apparently, the final quote-unquote sacrifice is cutting what's left of their genitalia until they bleed out and pass away. And they later explained that they experiment with psychedelic drugs. I mean, this user on their Reddit made some pretty normal posts too, such as posting their pets and even making a SpongeBob reference. Anyway, the rabbit hole continues. As time passed by, yeah, they continue talking about the same topics, that being God, sacrifices, suffering, crucifixion, but then they mentioned that they will be attempting on Saturday. Before we talk about that, I do want to read this post because I feel it provides a lot of context. Greetings. I am in the most intense part of the awakening process that is possible. First, I circumcised myself, ended up at the ER. Next, I shot my 4 times with a revolver and consumed it after cooking it slightly on a frying pan. I called an ambulance on myself after freaking out and ended up at the ER. During that process, I blew apart my left testicle and they removed it since it was beyond repair. Finally, after many months of agonizing depression, I got the courage to sever my remaining testicle, ending up in the ER again. All I have done is follow God's will to crucify myself, but I always seem to fail. I cannot for the love of God make it past the obstacles given to me. Now God has come to me through my intuition, calling me to sever more of my. When I look at what's left, it's about 1 centimeter worth of skin bulging out with an empty scrotum attached, and it's baffling that I am supposed to sever more of it. At this point, I'm basically carving a hole in my body. Please, I am in the darkest times of my life, as Earth nears the end times war, and I have no idea what to do or where to turn. I am so afraid of the pain and blood of doing this all over again. Thinking once would be enough. Love and regards, Worthless319. If there are any doubts, I can email pictures freely. Okay, now let's go back to what I was saying. But then, they mentioned that they will be attempting on Saturday. What's the likelihood I survive of severing the rest of my. I will be attempting it on Saturday, but I'm afraid I might survive. I survived my castration after bleeding for 18 hours and finally seeking medical attention because I wasn't dying. Attempting meaning cutting off the rest and passing away, as I said. Do you want to die, or do you want a sex change? Why the genitals? Why not cut your or a major artery? I suggest calling a hotline or going to your emergency department immediately. Please don't hurt yourself anymore. Your life has meaning. There is so much more living to be done. You never know what's around the corner. I'm getting that he's not. He wants to modify his body for whatever reason. I am and do want to die, but the only method I am allowed to perform is severing the rest of my penis as a sacrifice in a ritual. Days were passing by and the user was still active, now posting about what drugs they should take to quote inspire them. I guess it's fair to mention that they know about gore websites, but that makes sense. It's clear that this person is not in the right mental space and has a mental illness. And going back to when I mentioned that a friend ate his nut, that sounds really funny. That's really funny. Oh my god. And going back to what I mentioned about a friend eating their testicle, I'd like to read that post when he made that post. I sauteed it, no seasoning. A friend ate my castrated testicle. My ball was covered in blood red goo that had to be peeled off before cooking and consumption. No notable smell, just flesh and blood. I regret nothing. I was serving God. Saturday comes along and someone asks the question, what happened to the guy that was supposed to cut his dick off yesterday?
Listen to what he's saying.
He was posting to the subreddit regularly and said yesterday was the day. So that post was actually made on Saturday at 10 p.m.
And my man's ate it. Like what the fuck? What the fuck?
On Saturdays because of different time zones. So for this dude, it was Sunday. But yeah, he commented this on Saturday night. Anyway, we get one last response from Worthless319. So what I'm about to read is Worthless's last response to someone's comment. Looks like he's just living life with his German Shepherd. Hopefully he didn't go through with it. Then Worthless responds with, "It's an old pic I'm reminiscing upon as I'm stuck on a bus for 2+ days to get my revolver. Edit, I'm halfway across the country because I found someone that would murder me by cutting off my but they would have mutilated my corpse unwillingly and eaten me, so I opted out." The comments are filled with people asking for updates, questioning his health, but none got any answers. Apparently someone got in contact with them and claimed they were still alive. Sadly, the post is now deleted, and even when going to the RevEdit archive, it is still unviewable. But we can still see a reply from that same user that gives us some more information. That user says, "Not Tumblr. I'm not gonna tell the website, but I actively searched for a website that he may be related to that took a while to find. All the pictures others posted, I can post directly from his profile on that website. They claim they found this person on another website, but again, there is no proof." So, was this a person with a mental illness crying out for help? Or was this one of the best internet trolls we have yet to see? Many people were making the argument that Worthless never proved the pictures were theirs. By this, I mean writing their name on a piece of paper and taking a picture next to their thing holding up their name. I genuinely do hope that this user, Worthless, didn't end up doing anything more than what they were claiming to do. But, you know, this is gonna be an internet mystery. I mean, it's been a mystery for 5 years now. Someone was saying in the one of the posts, they were like, "Bro, how has no one found him yet? Like, we are the internet. Jesus Christ, someone track him down by now." Yeah, wherever you are, Worthless, hopefully you're still alive, and hopefully you got the help that you needed.
One more time, spend the check on the weekend. Oh my god, I'ma do it again.
This is bullshit.